Again from Granada.
We're early retirees that plan on traveling a lot. This is our first big trip. So it was 9 weeks. We left our home on January 5th.
Trying to get here.
Trying to get here from the East Coast with weather. Today's March 9th and we fly home on March 12th. So we're just going to do a wrap up of what we liked, what we didn't like, what we do different. We haven't heard each other's answers, so it should be interesting.
Okay.
You ready? Okay. Our first question is the favorite town or city that we visited and why?
Okay, tell me.
I wrote Cordoba, but I don't really have a why.
That comes as a shock to me.
I just like the way it felt. I can't pick a why. But we weren't there long enough, so we were only in Cordoba for 3 days. So we spent 4 weeks in Jerez, 4 weeks in Granada, 3 days in Seville, 3 days in Cordoba. So it was a short time, even though we found cockroaches twice in our hotel. Lesson learned, don't stay on the ground floor. It was my favorite. But then of comparing Jerez versus Granada, I'm kind of torn there too. Granada's nicer, bigger,
yeah.
But Jerez had a lot more options for us to ride the train to like do tiny little day trips, like 30-minute train ride away. Where here we're kind of more locked in. So that's a non-answer because I really didn't.
Yeah, that kind of went through a couple different questions. You like Cordoba, but you don't know why.
I don't know why. I like the way it felt.
Yeah. The place there was nice though.
It was,
yeah.
but there were 2 cockroaches, and that was.
I know, but I don't mean the place. I meant I can't remember what it's called.
Mesquita.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the more interesting places besides the Alhambra.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, that's the next question.
Anyways, was that your answer?
That was my answer. So what?
Mine was Gibraltar.
Oh, I thought that's what you would pick, actually.
And that was just because sort of a place I didn't think I would ever really go to. And I've flown out of the airport on a flight simulator.
Virtually.
And it's a pretty cool place, a lot of history.
And they had monkeys.
Yeah, so it's always something I've kind of known about but didn't really think. I mean, it wasn't like I was dying to go there,
Yeah.
but it would be cool to go there. And being able to rent a car and
nice.
Drive.
Wow, that was traumatic for me.
50% of us thought that was pretty nice.
I don't know how you put up with me in the car.
And seeing the monkeys, and it was just nice.
Yeah, I did like Gibraltar.
Yeah.
I was kind of on the edge of whether we were going to go or not because I felt kind of
nervous about the car ride.
The driving and getting everything set up. So we spent.
Yeah, basically, I don't know how I drove before. I crashed into everything constantly.
But we did spend 2 nights in Gibraltar in La Linea de Concepcion because it was cheaper than staying actually in Gibraltar, which is a UK territory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, next question. What was the favorite place or place we visited, activity we did, and why?
So it's your turn again.
Okay. Mine are, I have a list. That first day we came to Jerez, there was that Catholic procession for, I believe, baby Jesus. So they show them a lot here on TV, so they carry like the relic and walk down the street really slowly with like 20 people carrying the thing, and had a band. That was just a neat cultural thing that we've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously didn't like it.
No, I mean, it's okay. Actually, I forgot about it until I looked at my pictures.
My other favorite thing was the blessing of the animals in Jerez.
Oh, I forgot about that too.
That was really exciting. It was like a priest was there to bless the animals, and there were 1,000 dogs probably. and I love dogs. And then the Biodome here at the Granada Space Science Center. They have a biodome that they had lemurs and little monkeys, and you were feet away from them. I like that. And then I liked Cordoba, the Mezquita. Like you said, that was probably the most interesting structurally building that we saw. I like the Alhambra, but Mezquita.
Okay. Well, my answer was the Alhambra, even though it was stressful.
It was stressful.
But I just had done a lot of reading about it before.
Well, you read the
Yeah,
Irving,
and knowing
Washington
that-
Irving
Well, I didn't
tales.
read all of it, or I listened to a lot of it,
Yeah.
but yeah, just for me, tying the history kind of gave me a better understanding of the Reconquista and what happened in the Alhambra and just the whole history of things, and being able to walk around and think, this is what happened there, and this is what happened there, and this. I like that kind of thing.
And we never found the Sprite.
No, didn't find the Sprite.
All right.
But we found the place where the Sprite was at.
Yes, we did.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it. Will you miss anything about Spain?
What's your turn?
Okay, that's the question. The donuts.
I knew that would be it.
I like, just in general, going out and seeing something different every day. That's what I like about traveling. And then the grocery store prices are really good. The variety's not as great, but they're really good prices, so I'll miss that. And I think that's it.
Confusion every day.
Yeah.
I wrote the egg dish.
Oh, tortilla patata or patata.
That's pretty good. I eat that every morning. But I didn't discover it till we got
Like
here.
Yeah.
So I kind of missed out. Eggs and potatoes, and it's already made, so you don't have to do anything other than stick it in the microwave.
You've been eating the onion one, but there's one with spinach.
Yeah, but that one costs more, so
Like $1 more.
I'll
so
stick with the
you can
onion. Well, I did twice. And then the Coctello, that's really good.
buy it. Coctello is a crunchy, stinky, like
Nuts.
pine nut.
Almost like a bar, like what you would get at a bar if you sat there and ate. You
Yeah,
know
like
what I mean?
peanuts
Yeah,
and
like what they would put in the bar or something.
they don't smell very good. They kind of smell like burnt
But they taste really good.
popcorn.
Corn nuts,
Corn nut.
peanuts, and then just little pieces of stuff.
I've never tried it, so.
I eat a lot of that. And then cheap prices.
You had that too?
And then just seeing strange things, and it kind of goes with the bad and good, wondering about strange things, how you can make it better.
We do lots of speculating.
Yeah.
Why is it like this?
Yeah.
Why is that?
So that's good
happening?
and bad, though.
Okay. Is there anything we won't miss? For me, the crowds, and of course, people walking slowly. But
That's
I find
just-
that everywhere because
yeah.
we're fast walkers.
And crowds are city life.
Yeah, and I think what's hard is that I think I and probably you would prefer visiting smaller places, but we're kind of maybe going to be more geared towards cities when we travel because of we need public transportation because car rentals would be too much for a long period of time. So we need to find that balance of what we like in the
It's
future.
going to be hit or miss, so.
Yeah.
I forgot on the other one, too. Not hearing drug commercials or political commercials.
Oh,
Although I kind of had that at home because we didn't really, after we got rid of TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's nice.
that is good.
And then 4. Oh, I can't remember. What was the question?
What will you not miss?
What will I not miss? All the things that could be easier. Like a half shower door.
Yeah.
Nothing makes Americans madder than a half shower door.
Ours is like a 2/3.
Or contributes to more questions of a half shower door. Just something I'll never understand.
Yeah.
And you can't really, and many things like that, but I can't really remember the other ones. I'm trying to remember, but there's just lots of things that you just are like, why does it have to be that way?
But that's the joy of travel.
Yes, that's the joy of travel. That's what I mean. There's good and
It's
bad.
not
So it's the same thing.
what we see every day.
And of course, spicy. No, the food.
Yeah.
I'll be ready for spicier, tastier food.
I do regret we didn't really eat true Spanish food at all.
Well, we had paella, and I got really sick.
Yeah, true. But we never had like a true tapas meal, which I sort of feel guilty about, but it's too like
too many factors for us.
Stressful and overwhelming, and you don't know what you're getting, and so I guess I don't feel bad.
Yeah,
I just feel like we missed an experience. If we could have gone with a Spanish person maybe who guided
or
us.
a tour or something like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of the best way to do
That
it.
probably would have been better.
A tour where they're just like, here, eat this, and you get like a little taste of it, and
Yeah.
you know that it's not like in other countries that we've been like, oh, that was the best, let's go back and get that. Man, I don't recall.
We've done a
Maybe,
couple
like,
food tours. We've
desserts.
gone back. That place had like the triangle things
Yeah,
somewhere.
sometimes.
The most frustrating things we found in Spain, for me, it's playing chicken on the sidewalks.
Oh, I think I forgot to answer that one.
So that, to me, we spend a lot of time discussing this.
Yeah.
So you can be on an 8-foot wide sidewalk, and there are 4 people coming in your direction, all in a row, and we're over here, and they will practically like run you off the sidewalk. There's no comprehension of scooting over or going single file, and it happens.
Oh, it's just a
Repeatedly.
different way of doing things.
I think-
But they have no aware. I don't want to say they have no aware. It's not
Well-
that. It's just not. It's a different awareness than people from America have, and because we teach our kids like excuse yourself, get out of the way, you're in the way. That doesn't seem to happen.
Well, like, the funniest thing is we're on the 3rd floor, so we take the elevator up, and our next door neighbor has 2 kids, and we came up the elevator one day, and he was there with his 2 kids. They were in their school uniforms, so they were going somewhere after school. The elevator door opens, and we need to get off, and the kids are just standing there like
looking
a
at
deer in headlights
But like deer in headlights. Like they don't know.
to move out of the way. So
Yeah.
we kind of had to like
Yeah, it's
Squeeze
not like the
between
parent
them.
says like
step aside.
excuse, let them out or I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, it's just a different way of
It's a different culture.
Yeah, you don't even think about that though. It doesn't seem like they do, but I don't know.
And maybe it's the city.
And maybe it's
versus
just the way that we. I'm sure it's just the way we interpret it. It's the same everywhere.
the other thing I have,
Toilet paper.
no,
That would be mine.
siesta and the like Sunday closures. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just been hard for me to adapt to. I would find it hard living here to know that from 2 to 5 you can't really
Everything's shut down.
go to much. A few things, a grocery store, but then like Sunday grocery store closure is very hard to adapt to. And yours is grocery or toilet paper.
I didn't even think about it. I forgot to answer it, but that's what I would say. Not toilet paper. I mean, I don't need that, but you do. But when you go to the
in the
bathroom,
bathroom. Public bathrooms, no toilet paper.
you're like,
I thought you were talking about the quality of the toilet.
well, no, that's crappy, but I mean, yeah, that's bad too. The paper towels, it is bad quality, but we're probably just buying the cheapest one. So
We are,
that's probably.
for sure.
But yeah, just a lack of.
Public restroom amenities.
Yeah,
And
That's kind
public
of a-
restrooms in general.
Yeah.
Because I have lots of
Yeah.
bathroom anxieties, so
it's not as bad for a guy, but I can imagine for a woman
Yeah.
not having toilet paper everywhere, not having. It just seems like that could be better, but just the way it is.
the way it is. Next question is what you would do differently for the trip. So or in general, traveling. Mine, the first one is get a better routine to exercise regularly other than walking. I walk probably most days at least 7 miles, but we've stopped doing any type of like body weight exercises or cardio. So I really wanted to incorporate that. I think a lot of it's being in small apartments. You feel like it'll make noise. Some of it's, 90% of it's just laziness. The other thing I have is realizing that the comfort of your apartment is very important for happiness. Not that we've been anywhere uncomfortable, but like the couch here is terrible, but we wouldn't know that because no one in the review is going to say that the couch has springs that pop when you sit on it. So there's really no way to judge that, but you know, making sure the place doesn't just have a love seat. It has at least a couch and a chair or different things like that. It's helped me realize what's important when looking in the future. So even things I've pinned earlier or saved for accommodations, I've gone back and been like, oh no, we wouldn't like X, Y, Z. And then the other one, is booking a day or two in the city that we land when we get here, especially if we're going to have onward travel. So like we landed here and had to take a train. It's supposed to be a train because we were delayed 2 days by weather. It ended up being a train and then a bus. So it just made for a really long travel experience. So just sucking it up and staying in a hotel that first night or two might ease things.
I've always thought that. Mine was pretty much the exact same. Try to exercise more. Look for comfort, but that's just something you learn as time goes. Or you try, but it's never going to be perfect. You're never going to. And maybe we'll talk about that later, but yeah, pretty much the same thing. But I answered the other one as, what did we do well? Which was the next question.
Yeah.
I said, staying in those towns in between is a good idea. And just having the ability to have that money.
Yeah.
to
we did well saving for our future.
Yeah,
so we
to have
freedom.
that money to be able to stay the night somewhere or something. Yeah.
Like a little mini
Especially as you
break.
get older, just like traveling and then getting somewhere, and then like that first day coming, like Madrid, and then catching that train after you've been up. And even though it wasn't that long, it was 6.5 hour flight or something, then the 7 or 8
Yeah.
hours. I mean, that gets harder as you get older.
Yeah. And neither of us sleep really well on planes.
Yeah, or the train. So, yeah, it's nice to build in a day if possible.
So for what we did well, I think we picked good locations for our apartment. So here especially, at first I thought we were too far away because like the central part is probably a 20-minute walk and the Alhambra is about a 40-minute walk.
Yeah, this worked out.
But after we've been there, it's so nice because you get to a certain point on the walk back and it just kind of dies down from the tourist traffic.
Yeah.
And I really like that. Jerez, not much tourist traffic, but it was a great location. And Jerez wasn't that big. My other thing was planning mini trips.
Yep.
So because we did a month in Jerez, then 6 days before we moved here, and then in Jerez we went to Gibraltar for a mini trip, and here we went to Malaga for 2 days. I would like to plan it better that we aren't paying for a night twice. So we paid for like our stay here, and then we paid for 2 nights in Malaga, in addition to that. But again, that's where having a good budget is helpful. But just the relaxation of being in a hotel in that in between period with a shower you can use hot water.
Lots of hot water.
Sometimes taking a break from just dealing with cooking, although finding food is hard also. But yeah, I like those mini breaks. I think that was, if we hadn't had those 6 days, I think we would kind of
6 days here.
in Seville and Cordoba.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in between. Yeah.
Did you have anything else?
No, I think that was pretty much it.
How do you feel you did with packing?
It was good. I wish I could pack less. I don't know how I could pack less though, because I pretty much wore, other than the extra pair of shoes which I used yesterday because it rained.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I didn't use those, so that would give me a little bit more space.
I have worn every single thing. There's nothing either of us brought that we haven't worn.
It's hard. I mean,
I wish we had more, but I also hope when you have to carry it around, you wish you had less.
yeah. And especially if you're looking at Southeast Asia and having it where they may weigh bags,
And we might be moving faster than
Yeah.
every 4 weeks.
it'd be nice to minimize electronics, but
Yeah.
you don't really know how.
Electronics and toiletries get you every
It's
time.
pretty tough. Yeah.
So I think we did okay.
I mean,
I need a different personal bag because that one I'm carrying, it doesn't work well in between.
mhm.
Okay, now we're gonna go to my favorite part,
Money.
the budget. Jason's going to definitely participate. Why won't my screen? Oh, up here. So I call it a budget, and you hate the word budget. So we'll call it expense projections versus actual spending.
Yeah.
So overall, we're under budget. Yay! And that's for everything. So
It comes as a shock to me.
and I feel like I did over budget in some areas because like I have $75 a month for like household or personal items because I didn't want to get to an Airbnb and if they didn't have a pan, feeling like we couldn't buy it or something. So we've purchased like tea towels, a bread knife, but I think we've spent like $50 overall on that kind of stuff with toiletries.
Vegetable peeler.
Vegetable peeler. So just those little things that I don't want to not have.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, for flights, hotels, our apartments here, food, our trip insurance, our house sitter, like everything, we're under budget probably by about $1,200 by the time I get home. And I have a very detailed budget. I track things in
Real time.
about 3 places. I have an app that I have everything in. I have a spreadsheet for a monthly budget, and I kind of have spreadsheets that I've been making for each location. I like spreadsheets. And that's, we had over $500 in unplanned expenses. We weren't planning on going to Malaga. We're staying in DC when we get there that night. We weren't planning on doing that. We had to have an extra rental car day when we came because of trying to beat the snow. So really we would have been,
Extra hotels too.
well, one got reimbursed and
yeah.
the one night in DC we used points. So
Yeah.
I guess I didn't count the one that hopefully that check is waiting for us. So I made a budget for 2025 probably in the fall, probably started in the summer, and overall without having traveled in this way. So I think we did a good job on that. And overall, our whole budget, including our home expenses, were under by about $1,800 for January and February, which means Jason's gonna spend it when we get home.
Well, I don't know yet. Maybe. We'll see.
His little,
Computer needs to be replaced.
yeah, it's acting funky. And since our next stop is Albania and Montenegro,
Yeah.
we're not sure the availability.
Yeah. I'll decide.
So overall, our 9+ weeks of travel are going to be about $10,500, which I think is great. to compare. Are you reading?
Mm-hmm.
To compare, normally when we would come to Europe for like a 10-day stay, it would probably be at least $7,000. And looking at, we went to Barcelona in January 2024. We stayed 9 nights and paid $1,900 for 9 nights in a hotel. So that's more than we paid for either apartment for 28 nights. So to break it down, no one else cares about the budget but me.
But that's also because Airbnbs, you get a deal if you
do. So if you
do 30
stay at
nights.
least 28 nights, you get a discount, or you should, which can be pretty
Substantial.
Fun fact, slept in 10 beds in this whole entire trip. That's a lot in 60 some days.
And no bed bugs.
But we do check every hotel. We rip those covers off, look at the seams. So breaking it down by location, the 4 weeks we spent in Jerez, which ended up really being 26 days because we got there 2 days late because of our flight delay, we spent $2,600, and $400 of that was going to Gibraltar. The apartment was $1,280, so that left about $1,320 on food, transportation, admissions, everything else. That was it. Good deal. Then we went to Seville and Cordoba for 6 nights and spent $880 because we had to eat out much more. The hotels were more. And then our 4 weeks in Granada will be at about $3,500. So we spent about $350 going to Malaga, and our apartment here was $1,740, so more expensive by far than
Jerez,
about like $500. And then we've spent $1,760 on food, transport, admissions. We try to keep our accommodations around $1,500 for a 28-day stay, which is around $55 a night, 55 and change. And we have averaged about 56 a night, even paying double for a few. Already paid for a night here in Malaga. So like Jerez averaged $46 a night, here it averaged 62, so kind of meets in the middle. So I think we did a really good job. I don't feel like we've skimped on anything.
Well, we can't buy anything.
Well, we do.
The problem, that's a good thing about packing.
Yeah. I bought a $3 hat, a $3 pair of slippers, and
raincoats.
Raincoat.
And rain pants.
Which are all in our budget. I might even put like the 40-cent postcard I bought for my dad is in our expenses, so I track everything. But we are kind of miserly at the grocery store, but we're getting better, I think.
Yeah.
Like we see something, we're like, it's $1.50. I don't know. So
that'd be hard coming back
to the U.S. Oh, I'm gonna cry at the grocery store the first time. But do you think we did it?
Yep.
Good job so far.
It sounds like it.
And then our next trip, we get home and we are home for 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
And then we leave to spend 10 weeks away with 6 weeks total in Albania and 4 weeks in Montenegro.
A whole different experience.
That'll be.
We thought things were hard here.
We haven't even started. So, there you go. We'll talk to you when we get to Albania. Bye.